love is all we are. Just take a deep breath and feel that love move through you, because that really is who you are. You are the energy of love manifested as each of you in a body. So I want to start off with a story. Once upon a time, there were 4 little seeds. They were best friend little seeds. 4 of you in a row, so you can kind of picture 4 little best friends. And they were taken up by the wind, and they landed in a clearing in a jungle. And they waited there to sprout, waited there to germinate, because they wanted to grow up and become beautiful, beautiful, majestic trees. But when the first seed began germinating, they realized it wasn't going to be that easy. Because in the clearing lived this group of monkeys who liked to throw bananas at them. And what happened was, using this game, see, the monkeys learned how to throw the bananas so that they keep the vegetation clear, and they could aim, and they could really, use it for a sport. So they threw so many bananas at the first seed that it split in 2. And when it told the other seeds what happened, they all agreed it would be better to wait for the group of monkeys to move on before they started to sprout. Well, they all thought about that would be a good thing, except for one little seed. And she thought that she would at least attempt it. And when she tried, she was pelted with bananas, and she was folded over in 2. The other little seeds loved their friend, and they kept saying, no, come down. We don't want you to try to grow. Let's just all stay under. Let's just all stay under till the monkeys go away. But this little seed just had to keep it up, just had to become a beautiful big tree. And time again she would try. And on each occasion, the little monkeys slightly improved their aim. And so the little seed ended up doubling over again and again and again. But the seed didn't give up. Every time they pelted her with bananas, she tried even harder, despite her friends begging her to stop and telling her to wait until the monkeys left. And so for days and weeks and months, that little plant was attacked by the monkeys. And she always doubled over and stooped over. For a few days, she managed to avoid the bananas, but then it would start all over again. And then one day, guess what happened? She didn't double over. She was hit with one banana after another. And none of them made her stoop. None of them even touched her heart. She had taken so many blows and had been doubled over so many times that she was filled with the scars and the knots that helped her to grow so strongly, better than any other seed. So her slim little trunk grew thicker and more resistant until it could withstand the impact of a banana. And she was already so well developed that the little monkeys, nobody else could uproot her. And there she was, growing and growing and growing. Thanks to the extraordinary strength of her trunk, she could continue to overcome all the difficulties in the jungle until she became the most majestic tree ever. Meanwhile, her friends remained hidden underground, and they continued as ever, hoping that those horrible little monkeys would abandon that clearing so that they could too sprout. Those very same monkeys were the ones that were capable of strengthening the seed by their method of throwing bananas, something that would prepare the seeds for all the problems that they would confront during their growth. We're really all, not just one of you, but we are all the seeds that have sprouted into that tree, or you wouldn't be here. I was thinking about this. You've already committed to life, or you wouldn't be here. And it's difficult. How many bananas have you had thrown at you? All the time. Do you feel like you're dodging bananas? That's it. We're dodging the bananas, but we have the commitment to life. Now the next commitment is to live the best life possible. To live a life filled with love. To feel the power of who we are inside. See, that little seed was committed to her life no matter what. No matter how many bananas were thrown at her, she became stronger and stronger and stronger. Could have been a he too, but I like to use a she.
Yeah.
She was committed to a purpose, and her purpose was to become the best tree that she could. the best tree that she could become. Are you the best human being that you can become? And that's what I want to talk about today, is our commitment to that and what that looks like. You know, if she had a covenant or a credo, she would say, I want to be the best. You know, no matter all the bananas that are thrown at me, I will be. I will be. See, we all have a commitment for something. And Gary Zukov in his book says that we either have a commitment to fear or we have a commitment to love. And I think you can have both. I think we all have commitments to love, but I think sometimes fear gets in there. But if we're really committed, that love shines through. Love always shines through if we're committed. And it's our commitments that shape our experiences. It's our commitments to life that shape our experiences. You know, are most of your commitments life-affirming or not? If you look at where you are today and you look at the experiences and how you feel, have your experiences been life-affirming? The two greatest commitments that shape our human experience, he says, is our commitment to either our higher nature or our lower nature, to fear or to love. You know, whatever you want to call it. It can be God and the devil. We don't usually use that here. Some people do. But we either have a commitment here or down there, in the lower nature. What is your commitment to? Authentic power, which is the power of the soul, which is the God within you, this power of love? Or is it a power outside of us, to external power? I talked about that last week. See, our commitment to love is a commitment to our higher nature. It's a commitment to doing good in life, to being good in life. You know, it's a power that helps us to validate and to bless us and fulfills us and lifts us. But the power of fear, if we put our commitment there, is something that is about succeeding and failing and disappointing and exhilarating. It's external power in the world. And we go there a lot. But what's important is our power within, the love that we have within us, that we know that we are these beings that can express as human beings. We're only, I think Judy says, a people suit. And inside is the power, authentic power of God in each and every one of us that can overcome any obstacle ever. And that's what our commitment is to. It's to the inner strength and the passion that you have in your life. It's about cooperating instead of competing. It's about revering life and coming from that healthy part of our personality. We have all parts, but when we have a commitment to love, we come from that part of our personality that is healthy, that responds and doesn't react. We have a choice in life to either react to what's going on in situations, and we all have those bananas. We react to them, or we respond to them in love. What is your commitment? To create more pain, or to create more joy in your life? What is your commitment? Love enables us to heal the hurt and cultivate the loving parts of who you are. And see, a commitment exists when our actions meet the expectation of our words. How many times have you given lip service to things and never really followed up with the action? This is a call to you to follow up with action. If you want to be kind, be kind. Don't just make the affirmation, step into the action of it. If you want to feel God in your life, feel God in your life. Put yourself in the situation with whatever makes you feel that. If it's babies, if it's animals, if it's a sunset, be there. Follow through on your commitment. One way to do it is to follow through on the words that you make. A commitment with the Spirit of God within you. You know, I think about this a lot. You know, I've been on a spiritual journey since I can remember, thinking about what is God, you know, what is it? And been through the whole gambit, you know, of every religion possible, until I finally realized it's not about religion. It's not about religion. It's about my commitment to who I am inside. And what I found out is that I am that piece of God inside. And you are too. And we're just that manifested out. And that my commitment is to live and move and have my being in God. I love that. It's in the Bible. To live and move and have my being in this field of energy and come from that with every action I can. And when I don't, I choose again. My commitment is to choose love. And when I don't, I choose again. We can all choose again. We can all choose again. You know, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore were the founders of Unity. That's where Judy and I actually had our ministerial training, was at Unity Village in Kansas City. And Myrtle and Charles Fillmore made a covenant, made a commitment. And it was a commitment with a higher power within them. It wasn't really a commitment. When we talk about commitment, we're not talking about commitment today with common ground. We're talking about a higher commitment about the higher part of you. And they made a commitment. And this was in 1892. And I love what they said. It was called a covenant with God. And they said, we call it a dedication and a covenant. And it read, we, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, husband and wife, hereby dedicate ourselves, our time, our money, all we have, and we expect, or all we have to the Spirit of truth. They call God the Spirit of truth. And through it, to the Society of Silent Unity. It being understood and agreed that this said Spirit of truth shall render unto us an equivalent for this dedication in peace of mind, health of body, wisdom, understanding, love, life, and abundant supply of all things necessary to meet every need and every want, without any of these things becoming the object of our existence. See, what they're saying is, as I give everything to this power to have the best life possible, I expect it back. That it will come back to you. That's the law of return. That's a law of attraction you've heard so much about. What that means is that everything that you put out there, all of your heart, I want to live, I want to be a tree, I want to be committed to being the most beautiful tree ever. And when you put everything into it, it comes back to you. It can't help but come back to you. That's the power of love, the power of God in you. That's the power of commitment. And that's the power of words. Words have energy. Words are what created the wholeness of us. Words themselves, logos. It created who you are. Your word is sacred. It's powerful. You know, today during the covenant ceremony that we have here at Common Ground, sometimes we lose it. It's hard. It's so touching because it's about words. But those words have power, and each person that has entered into this covenant fellowship, it's called, takes a word. They get a word that's kind of in a basket, and they choose it anonymously. They don't know what the word is. But those words are so relevant in our life. I remember 8 years ago when Judy and I chose our word. And she chose harmony, and I chose blessing. And we took those words, and it was like, this is what we're called to do in the world. And you, raise your hand if you're covenant. You know what I mean. All of you, shout out some of your words so everybody can understand. Patience, happiness, intelligence,
courage,
serenity, and courage. Those are the words we're talking about. You know, that's what you are called to do in the world. That's what you're called to do in the world. When I saw blessing, I thought, okay, you know, this is my call. This is my commitment, is to be a blessing as much as I can. And when I'm not, and I'm not all the time, believe me, that's my daughter, you know, then I get to choose again. I get to respond to something from a different place within me. Judy's word, man, harmony, she brings harmony everywhere she goes. You know, it's a word. It seems so shallow, but it's not. It's so deep. It's so deep. Who was it? Miguel Ruiz said, be impeccable. One of his 4 agreements. One of the 4 agreements is be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable with your word. Live your word. So if you don't have a word, if you don't have a commitment to life, my invitation to you is go inside. Go into the quiet. You know, write your commitment to life out. What do you want back from life? Do you see yourself doing? Not so much on the outside. You can do that too. I've done that. You know, what I want to be this, I want to do this, I want to have this. That's okay. But I'm talking about, what do you want to feel every day? You know, do you want to feel the passion of life? You know, what do you want to experience? Kindness from each other. Do you want friends and family? Do you want the feelings? Write your covenant. Write your credo. What would it say if you did? And then step into it and just feel it and live it. And watch how everything starts to show up so you can live it. Your life starts to manifest it because you put it out there. You have put it out there. That's what commitment does. It guides our choices. It guides our choices and it creates our experience. Yeah, I want to be happy. I want to be joyful. I want to feel that joy that emanates deep within me, and I do. I swear to God I do. Stuff goes out on the surface. So I cry, I have pain, but there's a deep joy, a bubbling over of joy that I've wanted since I've been a little kid, and I put a commitment out that I would have it, and I do. No matter what's going on in my life, through pain, through death, through family stuff, through friends, through the ups and downs of common ground, there's an overwhelming bubbling over of joy because I made a commitment, and you can too. If you make a commitment, not the common ground, I'm not trying to say come to common ground, I'm just saying make the commitment inside of you, and the universe will support your commitment. The commitment to love, transform who you are, to turn your challenges into gifts. So my prayer for you, Wade, is that you find the commitment in your heart and you live from it, and that the universe comes and carries you to that deep, deep place where each of us want to be. I invite each of you today, if you are interested, to come and watch the commitment ceremony. You'll find something that touches your heart. It's a way to live life. It's the only way to live life. Thank you.